Hi everyone. Once again, I'm late. Go figure. I was completely thrown off with traveling last week and various things going on, and just the fact that it finals is next week, so there was a bunch of projects and papers and stuff due, and it was just crazy. Anyway, as anybody in the Wotown gang can tell you right now, it's freezing cold outside. It was supposed to snow. It's not snowing at the moment. But my opinion is, if it's going to be cold, it better be snowing. If not, then it needs to be warm. So this week we were talking about narrative versus dialogue. I can say right now, I am very I'm very narrative heavy. Everybody else seems to be, we have three of us who are dialogue heavy, and then you have two of us who are more narrative heavy. Caitlin and I are the more narrative heavy people. I do have to agree with her. I don't like dialogue. I can see where it works, but I can't write dialogue unless it has a meaning to it, which is probably part of my problem. I probably think that a little too harshly, because there's a lot of times where I'm going through narrative and description and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, a character would probably have said something back here. So, I have to do a lot of when I go through edits, I have to add a lot of dialogue and stuff in to make the narrative actually fit. It's like, well, all these actions and stuff happened and nobody commented about it. Yeah, that's not quite right. Narrative. I like description. I like describing things. I like feeling, getting that eloquent description out without having too much there. I've definitely read some stories where you're trying to figure out where the heck it's going, and then you find out that all that detail was for nothing. So the narrative has to be for something, and the dialogue has to be for something, and they need to work off of each other in equal parts. Otherwise, you have a completely unbalanced story, and it just doesn't work. I write mostly in the third person. A lot of the time it's the third person limited, where it's behind following one character around. Sometimes it jumps around, sometimes it's more broad than that. I do that all in one story. It doesn't seem to... It seems to work fine, because I know some people can't work that together. It's just a matter of transitioning from one to another to the broad to yada yada yada. So it's a lot of work, and it's something I've really kind of worked on and tried to perfect over the years, since I like to do that. I can't just stay broad. I have to be following somebody around for the most part. But then there's sometimes where you need a group reaction, where it's everybody, where it's general, and so that's where that comes in. I do write first person. From the stories that I read to you, quite a few weeks back, examples of our writing, I think if I remember correctly, they were both first person present. I can do first person past. I don't have anything right now that is. I have a lot of characters who don't... It just doesn't work to do it in the past, because you kind of need to be inside their head at the moment. Probably why I like to do third person, because I like the past tense a little bit better, and it's a little bit easier for me. And, anything else on that subject? I'm probably gonna be another short one, which is probably okay. Yay. I guess we have a very mixed group of writers here. I always said that if you could combine, say, Erin and I together, you would have a perfect balance, because she's dialogue heavy, I'm narrative heavy. Or if you combined Caitlin and Jesse, or Caitlin and Emmy, any combination of the dialogue heavy ones and the narrative heavy ones, you'd have like an awesome balanced writer right there. So yeah. It just depends on who has a more similar style to you than that. I think it's hard to tell who's more like who. That would be an interesting one to find out. I guess we'll find out, because we have some fun things planned later in the year wow, year. Yeah, we have stuff planned out for a long time. To kind of show, and it'll kind of be a compare and contrast almost for some of these things that will be very exciting. But yes, so next week we are... What are we doing? Oh, yes, we are having a free week where we can talk about anything we like. This should be really, really interesting because it can be writerly or it can be something completely different, like a rant. So, knowing this group, this could get really, really interesting. So, I hope it is for everybody, and I hope you are entertained and everything else. I will let you go, and we will see you next week. Come back for Erin and see what craziness she brings. Alright, bye!